I started to wonder, and I wondered, which led me to wonder. I had to wonder. I started to wonder. I couldn't help but 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 wonder.
Hello, welcome to Seagulls Make Do. I'm Alex, and it's Sunday, a day of rest, but not for me, because we're fucking pod destroyers.
Oh, wow, that was a big one.
Thank you.
I'm Stephanie, and my persona is a 6-inch sub.
Yeah, so today I have notes. Thank
good.
you, everyone. And we'll be talking about running with scissors, which is the name of this week's episode.
I didn't even think about the title until now, and I'm like, I don't get it, but that's fine.
No one had scissors, or ran,
No.
really.
Well, there was a bit of running. You know,
Oh, that's true.
Carrie and Natasha were Bernie this week, so...
Oh, yeah, I guess we should get into it. And because this is like, I didn't realize before we watched it, this is an iconic episode.
Yeah, this is like a really, well, like in a lot of different ways. Yeah. I mean, I guess we can just get into it, but fucking like, this is honestly probably one of my favorite Miranda plots of the whole show because it's so fucking stupid. So, but yeah, no, it's a pretty iconic episode.
Yeah. So we start, how we usually do, with Carrie. And so she's like, so we see her like going into this hotel room and it's all like sexy and she takes off her jacket and Big's there. And
Big's there and he's eating like a huge strawberry, like the biggest strawberry I've ever seen in my life. It's a Mr. Big strawberry.
It's a Mr. Big Strawberry. And okay, I thought this was weird. Maybe I'm nitpicking, but she has her hair in like these intricate, like Princess Leia braids. Mm-hmm. And you're just going there to fuck someone. So I don't know why you would do that.
She was trying to, like, it looked like she was trying to be all like unnoticeable, even though they're in an area where no one knows them. But like, she's dressed all in black, and I didn't really notice her hair, but she has sunglasses on inside, and she's not just inside, she's like on whatever floor of the hotel this is. It's not like the lobby, and it pissed me off because I hate it. She does not need to be wearing sunglasses inside.
No, she looks ridiculous. And then, so they're in some fancy hotel, and then they move to, like, we see them again, and they're in like a less fancy hotel, and Big's in his underwear, and Carrie's like, ugh, just let's get this over with.
Yeah, it's like they're complaining now, and it's just like it's scheduled, it's just like not fun, and I'm like, okay, great, so you're like ruining other people's lives and you're not even having fun doing it, so like congratulations.
Like, if you're gonna have an affair, there should at least be passion. Like, I mean, ideally don't have an affair, but at least have a reason for it. Don't have it like scheduled like you're a married couple and you got 3 kids and you have to have sex for 20 minutes on a Thursday.
Like, I get why they need to have like a schedule, because it's like they have to choose when they're gonna meet because they can't just do it at their own house, but like it makes no sense. They're just like, they hate each other and they hate it, and I'm like, we hate it too, so
why is this happening again? And then we finally go, Carrie says they went from crystal to plastic cups, and they're in this like, I guess, like, I don't know, it looks like a Holiday Inn or something. They're in a seedy motel, apparently stinks of takeout curry, and it's too hot. And they can't fuck because it's too hot.
Yeah, well, it's just, I hate it. And Carrie is just like, I can't do this. And Big's like, what are you saving it for, your boyfriend? And like,
yeah, she has a boyfriend.
And she gets mad at him, but then he apologizes and kisses her on the eyeball, and it's fine. So
yeah, I mean, cry me a fucking river. I really do not care.
Yeah.
And then, so yeah, next we're having drinks with Miranda. And Carrie's in like Miranda's in a nice little dress and Carrie's in a t-shirt, which
Yeah.
and then so Carrie spills the beans. She's like, okay, promise you won't tell anybody, but I need to tell you. Like, basically trying to get Miranda to tell her that she needs to break it up and convince her to leave Big, which Miranda does. Like, Miranda is trying to do, but Carrie is not really listening. She's just sort of, woe is me.
And well, Carrie pretends like she's listening. She's like, yeah, I knew you would tell me to get off my bullshit. And I'm gonna get off my bullshit. Like, I truly am. I promise I'm gonna get off my bullshit. Surprised she doesn't get off her bullshit.
No. It reminds me of, when guys are like on Twitter and they're like, I'm a terrible person. Oh my God, I'm such a bad person. I'm so sorry, you guys. And then they'll like DM you and be like, can I eat your pussy?
It's like, yeah, no.
It's public self-flagellation without actually changing your behavior, which is the best.
It's fucking shit. And also, Miranda, asks Carrie if she can have a smoke from her, even though she doesn't smoke, because she's just like, this is a lot. I need a cigarette right now to deal with this information.
I don't blame her, honestly.
Me too. And then Carrie at this whole thing is like, feel free to delete me out of your Palm Pilot.
I wrote that down too.
It's good. It's really good for setting the decade.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna say that next time I do something problematic, I'm gonna be like, hey, delete me out of your Palm Pilot. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, Miranda's not gonna do that. Miranda's like, I don't hate you or anything, but here's the thing. You're an idiot and you need to not do this. The solution is to stop fucking him. Just stop. And Carrie's like, you know what? I'm gonna stop.
Literally, the solution is so easy. It's like if you were like, oh my God, I'm like stuck on a treadmill and I can't stop running. And you're like, well then just get off of it. And they're like, oh, I can't. Just stop doing it.
Yeah, he's a person. It's not like it's, an addictive drug. I realize that you get addicted to bad behavior and that's still a thing, but it's just every rational thing possible just points to this is so stupid. No one supports this. It's awful. Big is the worst.
Or if you're gonna fuck him, break up with your boyfriend.
Exactly.
There we go.
Yeah.
You need to stop doing one of two. Stop doing one. You don't even have to stop doing both. Just stop doing one.
Yeah. I mean, well, ideally she would stop doing Big anyway because, Big is still married, so it's kind of it's more on Big than on Carrie, but she's still being a homewrecker, so it's
Big, not to defend Big, and I never will, I definitely don't have to hand it to him, but he had, he was one who was like, I'm gonna tell Natasha, I'm gonna tell, my partner in this situation, and then Carrie was like, no! I don't know why.
Well,
I do not
Carrie
know why.
She doesn't want consequences. She just wants to fuck the one guy and date the other guy. And yeah, it's just incredibly selfish, and I really hate it. And Carrie even has this crisis about it where she's like, okay, but what if I leave Aiden and go for Big, but Big probably only wants me because he can't have me. And Miranda point blank is just like, yes, literally yes. He only wants you because you can't have you.
Yeah.
It's she. And then Miranda's like, okay, but what do you want? What do you actually want? And Carrie's just like, well, I don't want anyone to get hurt. I just want everyone to be happy. And it's you literally cannot make everyone happy. Just, you have to basically make a choice. And
Carrie, you make your own bed and refuse to lie in it.
No.
Okay. Yeah, this is, it's just painful. But should we move on to a different story?
Yeah, we could. We could move on to Samantha. Who
Yeah.
looks hot as fucking fuck in her orange dress in this bar. Yeah.
She's in this really trendy downtown bar. And she's by herself. She's on the prowl. She's walking like a panther. It's It's very good. I love it. This is like, I love Samantha. I really do. And she like spots this guy from across the room, and we find out his name is Tom. Yeah.
Tom Raimi.
Tom Raimi. And I was like, oh my god, is he related to Sam?
Raimi?
Sam Raimi, the director of Spider-Man.
Oh, I don't know anything but Spider-Man.
Oh, he directed the good Spider-Man films with Pizza Time.
Is that Spider-Man 3? That's the good one, right?
That's
the only one that I
Spider-Man
know.
1, 2, and 3, the good ones.
Yeah.
Don't come for me. I don't care about your fucking opinions. I like camp. I mean,
Same.
yeah, the Met. I mean, we're recording this just after the Met Gala, and I will say those first 3 Spider-Man films, high camp.
It's good shit. The only problem is that James Franco's in them, which is like unfortunate, but
True. I don't see why we can't like re-edit the film so that he's just not there, or there's like a sticker over his face.
I love it.
Yes. Anyway, so this guy Tom, we have Carrie's voiceover, and like she basically describes him as the male version of Sam because he's you know, really good at his job. He's really sexy. He likes to have sex, but he doesn't want to get tied down. And Samantha is all over it, and he comes over, and he literally is just like, oh, I know you know me, wanna fuck.
Yeah. Samantha's even like, wow, under a minute, like you could qualify for the Olympics.
And then they both say my places at the same time, and they laugh, and then go back to his place, and they're making out, and this is maybe the strangest segue I've seen.
It's something. Yeah, he like asks her like if she wants to swing. I don't remember if that's how he phrases it.
Yeah,
but then,
no, he does.
Yeah, and he means literally. He doesn't mean like, you know, have sex with other couples. He's got a sex swing. It's you know, that's some hardcore shit. Like it's full on bolted to his ceiling. It's pretty big. He's got like an entire room just for a sex swing. It's really good.
Well, I mean, it takes up a lot of room, and you need the area surrounding it to move, to swing.
Yep. If you want to use it properly, at least. So
I don't even think they use it properly at the end of this. It doesn't make sense logistically. But
I have no idea how it's actually supposed to work, but like I don't know how else you would use it, but who knows?
Yeah. So she's like, oh wow, and he's like, you've never fucked if you haven't fucked in a sex swing, and she's all excited, and then he goes, when was your last AIDS test?
I love that it's specifically AIDS. It's not like, when was the last time you were tested? It's like,
Yeah.
have you been checked for AIDS?
Which, again, is different from HIV.
Yeah, it is.
So probably wouldn't be testing. Like, it's a weird. I mean, I guess like everyone gets the convoluted. You know, they're made up, don't they?
Yeah.
They get them mixed up. I mean, I never make sense, but everyone just thinks I do because I have an accent. They think I sound smart. Anyway, so yeah, it's like, again, I mean, I don't have an issue with someone asking if you've been tested like before you have sex. It's just, you know, it's like a strange thing to be like, oh, we'll go to my place and then I'll ask you, and also I'll ask you while I'm making out with you.
Yeah, I was so confused about this. The whole time I was like, why didn't he ask her before they, you know, presumably took a cab back to his place? Like, he should have been like, oh, by the way, before we do anything, I just want to make sure you've been tested so that we can, you know, go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this doesn't make any sense. Like, but, I mean, this leads to Samantha. Well, we get Carrie's voiceover, who's just like, the only sex test she'd ever taken was in Cosmo, which, Samantha, you're like 40 years old and you've never been tested before. This is so irresponsible.
It's so, especially with the amount of sex she has, like, I'm not trying to, you know, shame anyone. I'm just saying,
no, but
like,
I mean, the thing is, if you're sexually active.
yeah, she's very sexually active. And, like, I'm assuming she uses protection, but at the same time, you should still be regularly tested. And it's like, it's very irresponsible. And also,
everyone should be getting tested. I mean, if you're sexually active. If you're not sexually active, then, you know, fucking hell yeah. But hell yeah, as in you don't have to get checked. But it just, I was like, Samantha, this is very important to do. But he asks her why not, and you know, she's kind of just like, well, you know, I just haven't had time. I'm very busy. You know,
I mean, if you have time to have sex, you have time to get tested. We promote safe sex. This is safe sex. This is a sex positive podcast, and because of that, we promote healthy, safe sex.
Are they not required to like, does she not even have to get like a pap done regularly? Like,
I would imagine she has health insurance and like a proper gynecologist and everything. I don't. It's not like she has to go down the clinic and wait all day.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, well, my first thought was, well, maybe because like of healthcare, it's like really expensive to get like something like a pap done. But then I was like, wait a minute, she's fucking like she's well off. Like this isn't a problem for her. So yeah,
is it? Yeah. And anyway, So, oh my god, he says something so weird. I wrote it down. He says, I can't fuck you or eat you the way I like until I know you're clean.
Eat you the way I like.
I hate it. This is why we say mohe, because, I mean, that's a bit much. It's a bit distasteful. Excuse the pun. And I don't like the phrase of clean, because like, especially because it's like, it's not like we're just talking about like all sexually transmitted infections. Like we are specifically saying AIDS a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, he brings that up a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, I mean, it's good for the writers, I think, to have it be a subplot, because it's important to remind everyone that they should be getting HIV tests.
Yeah.
As well as, you know, your other STI tests. But like, it's a bit of spreading misinformation, you know?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they should do a better job, you know, researching about it before they're going to talk about it. I mean, yeah, I do like that there's like a scene where, you know, the other girls are kind of like, yeah, no, like I've been tested, you know, more than once, like multiple times, and it's normal. It's just what you're supposed to do when you have sex with people, or like when you have sex with more than one partner, especially.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they end up not boning. So
no,
that's that.
And speaking of the other girls, that's where we go to next. We're at brunch as usual, and Charlotte's gone a bit bridezilla, and she's got all the different magazines, and she's like handing them out, and she's like, okay, well, the pink color means I like it, the yellow color means that I sort of like it, but like I just like some details, the purple, like she's got all these post-it notes like everywhere all over the magazine. And she's handing them out to the girl, and she's like, okay, Samantha, you're taking this one. Miranda, you're taking that. And then...
yeah, and these books have like 1,400 dresses in them, too. It's not just like they're small.
No, they're like the size of Vogue.
They're huge.
The thick magazines. Not just like, oh, a little, you know, a couple pages. No, these are thick with two C's.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
And
just like she's handing out the magazines, and Samantha just out of nowhere is like, have you all had an AIDS test? Charlotte's just like, can we please not talk about AIDS right now? I'm planning my wedding.
I mean,
she's right.
And the girl, they're all like, yeah, I don't even think Charlotte says or anything, but like,
Charlotte just ignores that point blank. She's just like, I'm pretending like I don't understand the question. I won't respond to it.
Yeah. But Miranda and Carrie are like, yeah, we've had it multiple times, and you know, it's nothing to be afraid of. Like, you probably don't have anything, but you should get it done. And then we find out that, yeah, Samantha hasn't had any tests, and she tells them, and they pretty much have the same reaction we have, and we're like, you should get that done.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and it's like her kind of excuse is that she's like, she practices safe sex, but it's like the thing is she's terrified that what if she does have something and she doesn't want to know about it if she does, which is like pretty irresponsible because like if you have something, you can treat it. And you can pass it to other people if you don't know about it.
That's the thing. If you can pass it to someone else, like, then you should get tested. I understand if you like are worried you might have something. I mean, it's your body, your choice. Like, I don't think it's right, but like I understand if you're like, oh, I don't really want to get like tested for something because I'm worried I might have it. But then if you can pass it to someone else, it's kind of your responsibility.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like you kind of have to own up to the fact that, you know, if you're gonna have sex, you do need to be responsible about it. Like other people's health is involved.
Yes.
Is the thing. So,
and you wouldn't like it if someone did it to you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So
be responsible.
Yeah, be responsible, have safe sex, get checked, and Charlotte is just like over this. She's just like, there's too many dresses, and I'm fucking shut up about AIDS, and I just like, and then Samantha's just like, fuck, why are you not just hiring someone to do this for you? Like, you have lots of money, and just hire someone to help you find a dress. And Charlotte's like, you can do that? Because she's never heard of a stylist before in her life. She lives in Manhattan, and she doesn't know what a stylist is.
Okay, so she's planning a wedding, and she hasn't heard of this?
Yeah, she's never heard of it. She lives in Manhattan. She's never heard of a stylist. It's normal.
She's doing all this wedding planning. Why hasn't she heard of it?
Doesn't know. I don't know. You know, you'd think that's the kind of thing that WASPs are like all over. They're probably just like, fucking hire people to do everything for me. But
yeah, they have maids and shit. If you can't clean your own place, like, you're gonna have people pick out your clothes for you too. You might as well just have like several mothers instead of just the one.
Yeah, they're just moms that you pay for is the thing.
So she's like, oh my god, that's a great idea. I'm gonna go get one.
And she goes from like being that dog meme of like angry dog to like soothed dog at Samantha. Like, that's literally what happens in this scene. But yeah.
And then, so then we get our question.
We sure do, about safe sex, because Carrie's thinking about safe sex now that this whole thing has come up, and just like, but like, you know, do we all check ourselves when we're a high risk? Like, you know, emotionally even, like, are we ever having safe sex?
Shut up.
Fucking 1, yes. 2, yes. 3, you're stupid. Maybe some people are emotionally irresponsible, and that's that on that. Thankfully, that's all we see of Carrie, and this is like all we really see of her addressing this question either. That's like it. We never really see her talk about this again.
No.
Then we go to Miranda. Oh, this is the best Miranda plot of the whole series. I love it so much.
This is the dumbest thing in the world. Okay, so she's just walking, I guess, like, away from work, and there's a guy handing out like flyers in a sandwich costume, and he says to Miranda, "Eat me."
She hates it.
She hates it. I mean, I don't blame her, but like, I don't know if I would hate it this much. I just roll my eyes and walk away.
Yeah, plus it's like a sub. If I like walked past someone who is, you know, dressed up like, I don't know, dressed up like literally anything that wasn't a food, and they said that to me, I'd be like, well, that's just inappropriate. But I mean, he is dressed like a sandwich, but she's like, excuse me, and he just says it again. And it's very like a monotone. It's very just like, eat me. It's kind of creepy, but it's like also, I don't know, I would just move on. But she fucking storms off because she's like pissed off at this sandwich.
That she's getting sexually harassed by a sandwich. And
and then, and then we get to meet Anthony. We get to see, the show's other gay man.
The other gay. Yeah, who gets married to the first one, the first gay friend in the second film.
Happens.
Yeah.
That's just what happens when you have two gay people together, is they have to be gay to each other, because that's just how it works, because, you know, this is logical. Anthony is Charlotte's stylist, and he is, okay, so we know he's gay because he's bitchy and bossy.
Yes.
And, you know, Carrie's voiceover describes him as, like, the pushy Italian mother that she never had. So
yes, he's very Italian as well, on top of being very gay, which is fun.
Yeah. It's true. It's very fun and flirty, and he's a little bit mean. There's a lady getting dresses out for Charlotte, and she's like taking a while, so he's just like, "Move, lady," and he like just fucking drags the dresses out for the girl. And
okay, I have a question about this. So why didn't you try the dresses on?
You know, it's fine. You look at them and you're like, that's right. I love it. You see a dress. Yeah.
You know how you always, like, you know, for an important event, you're like, maybe I should just not try these on.
Yeah. I mean, I guess she tries it on after she picks out the one she likes, but at the same time, it's like, you know, if a dress is going to look different on you than it is just hanging on someone's arm.
Absolutely.
I don't know. But she like keeps showing dresses to Charlotte, and Charlotte's like kind of hesitant about them, and every time she's kind of hesitant, like Anthony's just like hates it. She hates it. She hates it. Take it away.
Well, like, Charlotte does need help saying that she doesn't like stuff sometimes, so I don't blame her. You know, I have like a friend like this who's like really sweet, and I have to be like, no, like, this is terrible. She fucking hates it. Take this back. You need to have people like that in your life.
It's true. I feel like I think most people probably find like a middle ground between the two, but you know, between the two of them, they get the job done, so it's fine.
I was just hoping for a say yes to the dress moment, but we didn't get it.
Oh, we don't. Yeah. But Charlotte's just worried she's not going to find the perfect dress. She's already seen 5 and she hated them all. And then, and then the lady brings out one more dress and she's just like, oh, it's perfect. It's the one. And it's like, you've seen 6 dresses and this one is just suddenly the perfect one. And
yeah. And it looks, I used to have a Barbie doll that was like a wedding Barbie, and this reminded me of it. I don't know if it's like the applique or the fact that it's a big poofy dress, but it just it feels...
It's fine. It's pretty, but I'm just like, I see it and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I didn't feel anything for it. I don't really like strapless dresses because I feel like they're for basic bitches.
Sorry if you got married. Dresses.
Sorry if you got married in a strapless dress, but
I just hate them. Like, I feel like they're just unflattering on me. I don't know. I don't like it.
No. If I wanted to look like a hockey player, then I would wear shoulder pads, and I would wear shoulder pads. I'm not wearing it. I feel like I have broad shoulders, but this is this is like when Charlotte was like, "Oh, I hate my chin," and you're like, "Who hates their chin?"
Yeah, it's like fucking, what the fuck are you talking about? But I feel like I have the opposite. Like, I feel like I've got like no shoulders, and I love to wear like a shoulder padded blazer, and I just feel like I'm wearing like armor, and I'm like, fucking hell yeah, this rips, and it's good.
I love it. I love fashion. It's fun.
I love to wear clothes.
Me too. I'm wearing clothes right now. Sorry to spoil the atmosphere.
I know. Like, I'm so sorry to everyone who is imagining us recording this just completely naked, but we're wearing clothes.
Sorry to like the creepy guy who listens to this to jerk off. There's got to be at least one.
I don't know. Just every man is like that, so probably. So
then we have Samantha at the clinic.
Yes.
And this is a great scene. So yeah, she's talking to like the doctor, And she's like, okay, I'm just going to ask you a few questions. Like, it's nothing to be concerned about. And she's like, okay, are you sexually active? Yes. Do you have oral sex? Give and proceed. And she's like, yes, yes, yes. And she's just asking all these questions, and the answer is always yes. And then she asks her if she uses condoms, and Samantha's like, yes, and starts lifting off the brands. And then she's like, no, I meant latex or lambskin. Which,
Yes.
Okay, I hate the idea of lambskin condoms.
I don't even know what a lambskin condom is. I just imagine it's like a flesh sack that you stick your dick in, and it like has no like elastic properties at all. So it's just like, it just like sits there. And
I mean, yeah, I think like people who are allergic to latex use it, but like,
can they not use like other material? Like lambskin isn't like a polymer like latex is, right? Like it's not like a plastic. Like it just makes it sound like you put like a leather sheath on your dick.
Well, they're made from lamb intestines. Which I don't want in my pussy. Sorry,
No,
guys. I don't want anything
either.
organic in there that's not attached to a human.
Yeah, I don't like that. But she says yes and yes to both of them. But then she gets to the question, how many partners? And Samantha just like, she goes into ultra brain genius think mode where she like just sits there for like a solid 20 seconds. And then she's like, I'm counting. And then she's like, this year? It's good. And I'm proud of her.
I'm doing the absoluting and then screaming because I love her.
It's really good.
And all right, so after Samantha, we have God.
I hate the scene of Carrie and Aiden. Ugh.
Okay, so he's on top of her, they're making out, and he's making little purring noises, and she's like, "Can you stop making that noise?"
And she's like barely kissing him back too. Like he's kissing her and she's just like, her mouth is just like closed and it's really, and then he like stops making the noise and keeps kissing her and she's just like, I can't breathe, and pushes him off. And I'm like, maybe if you opened your mouth you could breathe. I don't know, but it's bad.
I hate this. Like, it's so awkward.
Yeah.
And
she feels guilty, I guess, about, I don't know if it's guilt or if she's just like, maybe she just wishes it was big instead. Like, I'm not sure which of the two it is. We really don't know. There's no way to know.
No. But he gets up and he puts on his jeans and he takes a piss. I love when there's like a pissing scene in anything.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's hilarious. I don't know why.
We can just hear it. He does wash his hands, so, thanks for being a normal human instead of a disgusting garbage slum, like nasty trash boy.
Listen, you've got a keeper when he washes his hands after he pees.
Oh, like, good for him. Wiping all the piss off of his hands.
Yeah.
It's good. Mm-hmm.
It's very sexy. And then he's like, okay, I'm going to go home. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Like, will you please make the noise again? And
yeah, she's like, I like it when you make the noise.
Yeah. He's like, okay.
Excuse me?
Well, he's like masking irritation, I would say.
Uh-huh. Yeah. You gotta fake it till you make it. And that's Aiden in this scene. She is just suddenly backpedaling so hard. Like, just everything's fine, right? Like, you're not leaving in a bad way, right? Like, it's good. We're good. And he's just like, yeah, everything's fine. Which is
It's not.
No. It's, just Carrie, you're asking for validation, but you do not deserve it. So
She is not valid, no. And she's like, will you call me when you get home? He's like, it's 1 a.m. I'll call you tomorrow.
all I want is for him to leave and just never come back. But obviously he won't do that because he's a good boy. But just run, Aiden. Just fucking, just bolt.
Mm-hmm.
It's
and he puts on this fringe jacket, which I thought was great. I loved it.
It's so Aiden.
He's camp.
My god, he is. It's true. And Mr. Big is the guy who showed up in just a fucking suit, and I'm
Oh, Aiden would have shown up legit a cowboy. Like, he would have had the little hat. He would have had, like, the pistol with, like, the orange tip, like, when you're a kid. And then Pete would have come as well in, like, a little horse outfit. But he's a dog.
Yes, he would have. And Natasha and Big would have just shown up and looked like fucking fools because they look like normal people. And I would have hated it.
Oh, I love this. I love this AU. And it's in New York. It's perfect. And then Carrie would have worn something, like, just, you know, not actually camp, but just bright.
Yeah, she would think it was on brand, like on the theme, but it wouldn't be.
No, it's just sequins, you bitch.
True.
And that's it. So, Sandwich Guy, the return.
Yeah, the return of Sandwich Guy. It's 3 days later, and, you know, Miranda passes him again, and he does the eat me thing again, and she's just like, she just goes off on him. She's just like, fucking, you can't harass women like that. Who do you think you are, Mr. Sandwich? And then she goes inside to complain to the manager, and she's just like, he's sexually harassing me because he told me to eat me. And the guy's just like, Kate, he's a sandwich. Like, that's what he's supposed to say, because that's what you do to a sandwich. Miranda's just like, he didn't say eat me in a sandwich way. He said it in a sexual harassment way. And I love that there's like a sandwich way to say something. It's good.
I'm speaking very sandwichly right now.
Yeah,
as sandwichly as possible.
Sometimes you just kin a sandwich, so it's normal. And so Miranda goes back outside and the guy says, eat me again. And then she yells at him. She's like, oh, you're so brave inside your little sandwich fursuit. And
your bread suit?
Yeah, inside your little bread suit. And yeah, and then he says that's the only time a man can be brave. And then she looks closely and sees a smile through the mesh, and she likes it. She likes the sandwich. She likes the smile.
I cannot believe this. Like, have you ever been, you know, catcalled or whatever, and you're like, oh, actually, that guy was kind of sexy, and I want to fuck him, and I'm gonna have fantasies about him for the next week.
Yeah, and he was a sandwich, so, yeah, and we literally just see his smile, and it's like she realized that there was a person behind the sandwich, after all, and it's good.
Yeah, so she calls Carrie, and they're talking about it, and she's like, and Miranda's making popcorn and drinking water, and Carrie's just smoking at a windowsill. And they're talking... she's
smoking in her apartment again. Like,
again.
Like, Aiden's not even out of town as far as we know.
Yeah.
But Miranda, she's horngry because she's turned on by the sandwich and she can't stop thinking about him. And she's just like, maybe it's because maybe it's because I can't see him, so he's dangerous. And another line she says is, I can't have sex with a sandwich, can I?
As a person?
Yeah, it's a good question. Then Carrie turns it to be about herself, because...
well, it's Carrie.
Yeah, she can take, I can't have sex with a sandwich, and make it about herself.
Yeah, it's actually kind of impressive. Like, it would be if it wasn't so, like, gross.
Yeah.
But she's like, I just don't even, I just zone out when she talks, because, like, what did she say that is new information?
Literally nothing, because she says, well, I never thought I'd have sex with a married ex, and it's like, literally, you'd be more valid for having sex with a literal sandwich than you would for having sex with Big, so. I
would love to see her fucking literal sandwich.
I would. Well, Big is just a $5 Big long. A $5 foot Big. I don't know.
Ugh.
I'm trying to insert him into Subway ad.
I don't like a foot Big.
I don't either. I think I like a $5 Big long better.
Yeah, that's good.
It's good. But that's pretty much it. Like, nothing else is new. Back to Sam,
and she's at the clinic, and she gets, like, called over. So earlier, Miranda is talking, and she's like, the worst bit's when you're waiting and they keep like calling people into this tiny little room and you know it's not good news. And then the doctor comes out and calls Samantha into a smaller room. And Samantha faints because she thinks she's going to get told the bad news. But actually, she's fine.
Yep, she's fine. But she knocked over a bunch of shit on like a tray. And
Well,
it's
if
good.
you're going to faint, you might as well do it the most dramatically, the most dramatic way possible.
I would love to just faint in a hospital and look that dramatic. It's really good. And the whole reason they wanted to take her to a little room was just because they wanted to lecture her on safe sex, even though her results were completely fine. And
Well, I
she
think
said she was having safe sex.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess because she just had a lot of sexual partners, but like...
And maybe because she hadn't been tested before. Like, that's pretty much
true.
it.
That's true. Yeah, they always give you a pack of condoms. I've never, like, waited in a room. They just always, like, called me.
I've never... Usually when I've had any kind of test before, they're like, we'll only call you if there's, like, something unusual. And so I just don't hear anything. So it's like, no news is good news kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I don't think... I've never had this experience before, so...
No, I did. Have you had an HIV test before?
Yes.
Yeah, I got one done, like, my last blood test.
Yeah, same.
And then they called me and they were like, oh, you're just deficient in vitamin D. And I was like, I could have told you that one.
Yeah.
And then the lady didn't laugh. And I touched it.
Mine was like a blood test, but it was... Mine was a blood test, but it was like specifically like because I was getting a pap done and they were just like, want to also get tested for HIV? And I'm like, sure, just do all the tests. It's good. It's fine. And then they take my blood and I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And
they
then
were just
I
like,
never
my
hear from
doctor was
them.
like, my doctor was like, hey, I asked to store my patients, but you want an HIV test? I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. I ain't got it. And he's like, yeah, I don't think you do.
Yeah. But I feel like probably well, I don't even know because I'd definitely been tested before several times, but I think I've only ever had one outright HIV test. But yeah.
I definitely get it's a nerve-wracking experience, especially if you're only getting, or you suspect you might have something. But like, I just, it's a bit dramatic, but listen, I love drama.
Yeah, same.
And this just reminded me because I've been watching a lot of Pose, like I've been watching the first season and it's like coming back. I'm very excited. But that, it's obviously set in like 80s New York and it has a big like subplot with HIV. And it's obvious, it's like, it's horrible, it's daunting, it's very, like, the characters who have it are all, living their life and they're lovely and everything. It treats it really really well, but obviously shows the horrors of it. And then to see this and she's like fainting and I'm like, okay, fucking, could you stop?
Yeah, it's like Samantha, it could be a lot worse, but
it could be a lot worse. Like, yeah, I mean, seeing obviously like a dramatization of like when it was a plague, and I mean, it still had the stigma in the 90s, and I'm glad stuff like this sort of made it a bit more normalized, especially for a more white and heterosexual audience. But I am like, come on, guys. This is a bit much.
It is very weird that they decided to focus in on like one specific thing and not just like STIs in general. Like, I mean,
yeah.
But I guess that kind of like, if it's in the context of like the stakes of an episode, I guess Samantha probably wouldn't faint over someone being like, it turns out you have chlamydia.
Yeah, I mean, were the stakes ever high? I didn't think she was gonna. Imagine just like the rest of the show, she's just living with HIV.
Yeah,
and that's the plot for the rest of it.
Like, it's supposed to be like a fairly light show. Like, I mean, they do have some heavier topics, but like, I feel like that this really is not the show to tackle that kind of story. So
no. She just get cancer in the final season, so hey.
True. But I mean, that's the final season, so anyone can die. But no. It's, things go off the charts at that point. So
yeah, things get wacky in the final season, guys. Things get wacky.
Then we go to. Wait, where do we go next?
Carrie?
We go to right. Carrie's at the. She's at the hotel again. She told Miranda that she was done. She was quitting. She's back at the hotel. She's got her fucking sunglasses on again.
Yeah,
and
this man comes up to her, a Japanese businessman, because he has to be a Japanese businessman.
Yes.
For the funny jokes. With an IE. That was a funny with an IE, by the way. I don't know if you could tell by my inflections. But he comes over to her and he's like, how much? And she's like, excuse me? And he's like, oh, I want to pay you to have sex with me. And
he's like seen her here before.
Yeah. And she's hanging around the hotel lobby. So he gets some ideas and she's like disgusted because, Carrie has this show has a weird thing with sex work, but I mean, can we be shocked?
I certainly cannot be shocked. Can you believe? Yeah, we sure haven't even. This is the tip of the iceberg, but it's bad and I don't like it. But Carrie gets up and talks to Big, who's just like waiting for something. I don't know, something about their room.
He's like checking in or something, and she's like, okay, we're leaving because that Japanese businessman thinks I'm a sex worker. I shouldn't say sex worker, but you know what I mean. And she like storms out, and then guess who was outside of the hotel?
Oh, well, it couldn't possibly be someone who knows them at 56 and 8th, where no one knows them.
I love when New Yorkers just say like numbers. Like I know what that means.
It's a grid system, motherfucker.
I know it's a grid. I don't know where it starts. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means.
I don't know which one comes first out of the avenues and the streets. I don't know.
No, it's like if I said I was in. It's like if I said, "Oh, I was down Oxford Street." I mean, Oxford Street's kind of obvious. Okay. If I was like, oh, I was at Villiers Street, you wouldn't know what I was talking about. You know what that is.
No, true. I don't know where that is. I do know where Oxford Street is, at least. So good job, me.
That was that's like saying Times Square. Like, I know where Times Square is. But Charlotte's there and she's like, oh my God, Carrie, what are you doing here? I was just dropping her wedding dress at the tailor's or something.
Yeah, something like that. And it's surprising that Carrie's in this neighborhood because why would Carrie be in this neighborhood?
It's 56 and 8th.
I know, right? What would Carrie do there? And out comes a Big right after her because he was following her. He chased her out, and Charlotte sees Big. She looks at him and back at Carrie, and she just makes an awkward face. And like, Big tries to come up with some like dumb excuse for like, oh, we just bumped into each other.
I do love. There's a moment of acting I enjoy, or maybe it was writing. I don't know. But Big goes, "Hey," like he forgot her name, and then later on goes, "Charlotte."
Yeah, good. Charlotte clearly knows. Like they just came out of a hotel. It's not like they walked out of a like a diner, like a
a restaurant or something. And then you say, okay, well maybe they did bump into each other. Mm-hmm. But and especially obviously, and also Carrie had said that like Big told her that it wasn't working with Natasha, so she's aware of that. She does the maths and she sort of awkwardly leaves, and then we cut to Carrie in Charlotte's apartment. Charlotte's like packing up her stuff, I guess, to move in with Trey. Yes. And Charlotte just says that real shit.
Charlotte drags Carrie, and Charlotte is the MVP this episode. I am extremely here for it. She just tells her exactly what the truth is, and she's pissed.
Yeah. She's like, you're the other woman. If it was me in Natasha's shoes, what would you do? And Carrie's like, I would kill her. I would kill the other woman. And you're like, yeah.
Yeah, it fucking is ridiculous. Carrie says, "I'm not the other woman." Well, I am, but it's like hard to explain. So it's
Because she thinks of Natasha. Okay. This is Carrie's mind. I was gonna say mind palace. That's not it. Her headspace is that she's always been with Big, and then Natasha is the other woman.
Yeah, I think she also thinks of Big as like the other man. Like Big is the one who's like the other man in their thing, and like, I don't know, breaking her and Aiden up. I have no idea. But either way, she's just like, I'm not the other woman. Charlotte's like fucking pissed, and what else does she say? She drags her with all that stuff, and she also brings up like, look, I'm getting married in 3 weeks and you're my maid of honor. And it's just like, I don't know. It's kind of just like, what does marriage even mean to you? Like, she also brings up the fact that, because Carrie's just like, I would just die if Aiden found out. I would die if Natasha found out. Like, Charlotte is just like, you don't give a shit how they feel. You just don't want to get in trouble. Like, you don't give a shit about them at all. And she's right. Carrie, like, literally only cares about her own repercussions. And I hate it so much.
Does Charlotte work in Starbucks? Because here's the tea.
Yes. She probably fucking does. Charlotte, like, I feel like I was living vicariously through Charlotte. Like, Charlotte has never been so relatable to me.
Yeah, this was, someone's going to be a top for once.
For once in her fucking life.
And then we go back to Miranda, and she's like vibrating at the thought of seeing the sandwich guy. She's so like sexually excited. It's great. And she walks over to him and she's like, just show me your face just once. I just want to see it. Like, she's really like doing a lot right now. And and he takes it off and he looks really young to me.
Yeah, he looked like he was like 20 to me. He looked kind of
like a baby.
Yeah, is fine.
He's reasonably cute, and that's what Carrie's voiceover says. But Miranda doesn't want to fuck a sandwich. It was just the allure of, you know, the mystery.
It's true. You don't know what's inside the sandwich until you open it up, and you know, it's the mystery that's good. But like Carrie's voiceover, she has like a very skater boy moment. Like, you know, like, she was a lawyer and he was a sandwich. Can I make it any more obvious? Like, they have nothing in common. And
I love it.
Yeah, I just love it's a nice way to end this story. It's good. It's a good story.
It's certainly an interesting one.
Mm-hmm. I would love to know who pitched that in the writer's room. Just like, okay, guys. Miranda's the love interest this episode. Okay, get this. She's walking down the street and there's a sandwich and she wants to fuck the sandwich and she fantasizes about the sandwich for a week, even though the sandwich sexually harassed her, maybe. And then at the end, it turns out that she doesn't want to fuck the sandwich.
I'm really mad we didn't get like a Homer Simpson style, like it's a sandwich but with sexy legs.
Ooh,
I wanted to see that. Yeah, I want to see like a little animated, like, sexy sandwich, like a fantasy moment.
I feel like
no, you go.
I feel like if they had like the legs coming out of the sandwich, then you'd have to think about the fact that there's like human hair in contact with the food, which maybe isn't very sexy as a consumer. But
yeah, I guess a sexy lady sandwich, they always have shaved legs, which unrealistic standards for sandwiches.
Very unrealistic, true. Especially if we're talking like upper thigh, which is going to be coming out of the sandwich. Like, I mean, if you shave your thighs, you're valid, but I could really fucking live forever without doing that. So.
And I like to imagine when there is a story like this, it's happened to like one of the like female writers, and she's like, okay, you guys, so I just got harassed by a sandwich and now I'm gonna flick my bean.
I mean, like, if I was gonna get off to any food, it would probably be a sandwich. Like, they're one of the best kinds of food because they're made of mostly bread.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm not really a big sandwich person. I've never really been one. Like, I just don't. There's not many, like, contents that I enjoy.
Yeah, that's fair. I love bread a lot. Is my
Me
thing.
too. I think like the sexiest food to me is bread and olive oil.
Ooh,
Just like
that shit's good.
that shit's good. Like dipping it into some like olive oil. Like I always feel like I'm on this, you know, in Southern Europe, being very sexy.
I feel like I probably wouldn't like sandwiches as much if I was vegetarian, though. Like, because like most of the toppings I like in sandwiches are like meat and cheese and yeah.
Yeah,
But-
there's not really any good vegetarian sandwiches that aren't like it's tofu bacon. I'm like, I like that, but
I mean, I'd eat that, but yeah, it's like less convenient to prepare. So
it's true. But moving on from sandwich chat, we have Samantha in her sex swing, and okay, so they're like
titty tally.
we have a fucking titty tally.
Mm-hmm.
Those bad boys are out,
They're fucking
and
swinging.
the way they're sitting on the swing. Okay, this is where I feel like it wouldn't logistically work. Okay, so he is inside of her. They're both on the swing. And they're just swinging like you would on a normal swing. Okay, how is that? How is there any motion from that? She's moaning like something is really happening, and I don't understand. You're just swinging, but with something inside your vagina. That's not.
I mean, I guess when you like swing at one end, when you reach like the apex, kind of like maybe it like. He kind of swings up into her a bit deeper and then comes out a bit when they slide back, kind of like a sexy Newton's cradle. I don't know. And I'm trying to imagine the logistics. I feel like it would probably not be very good, but also I just am like, I don't know.
I don't see. Yeah, I'm just thinking. I don't see how this is any better than just like normal sex.
Mm-hmm. I guess that maybe you do less work because it's more like pumping instead of thrusting. I don't know. Pumping seems
it's just
easier.
fun. Being on a swing, I have to say, not a sex swing, just any swing is really fun.
I love swings. Yeah.
Me too. They're always my favorite playground attraction.
They're really good. I feel like half the reason I really liked them though is because of like the TV show Recess, and I like thought Swinger Girl was super cool, and I was just like, could you imagine if you actually could like swing and go over the top and come back down? Like that'd be fucking sick. And then of course I didn't. And then it turned out I was gay. So
That's me with Spinelli.
yeah. Spinelli. Oh yeah, I had a huge crush on Spinelli, but I didn't know. That big bisexual energy of having a crush on Spinelli and TJ Detweiler when you're a kid. But not realizing it until later.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Actually I didn't really like TJ. I did kind of, the king.
King Bob.
Yeah, but I wasn't really feeling like the monobrow. But
I thought you were going to say monarchy. And I was like...
Well, I was a child.
Wow,
As a child, I was a monarchy stan. Did I ever tell you about how I like made my mother buy me a spoon with the Queen Mother's face on it?
Oh my god, no.
I was like a child. This is, again, always been a lover of high camp. And she was a bit of a gay icon because she was, like, really ugly and old and disgusting.
Oh my god, yeah.
Well, I just find it so... Because I was always a weird child. I had fucking porcelain dolls, like...
Yeah.
And a spoon with an old lady's face on the end.
I love it so much. And then at some point you were, like, revolutionized.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I still do love, like, ugly people, but nowadays I love, the working class as well as, like, monarchists. I mean, I think we should strip them of everything and then just, like, maybe do a Grey Garden style documentary. That I'm down with.
Yeah, that sounds good. That's good shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, they swing so hard that the swing falls out of the ceiling.
Yeah, it fucking breaks, which seems like this would be the most uncomfortable bad thing to happen in the world. Like, they fall on the ground while they're boning. So, like, I don't want to know what happened with whose genitals going where, but bad.
That's a broken dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't like it.
Oh, I don't like it.
But yeah, that's the end of Samantha's story. So we got 2 out of 3 out of is everything done except Carrie now? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so Big and Carrie, they're at his apartment and they've just had sex and Carrie's like, okay, we can't keep doing this. So Big is like, okay, I'll call Natasha, and she's like, no.
Yeah, because Natasha's at the Hamptons for the weekend, so like
Yes.
they're safe to be at Big's place. Also, I can confirm everything in their apartment is beige.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Apart from Carrie's pink bra, so we can see where she is all the time.
Oh yeah, true. And to show how different she is from Natasha, the boring lady.
The boring lady. So Big's like, okay, listen, you need to make a decision because you just want to have me and your boyfriend. And she's like, his name is Aiden.
Ugh, like as if you give a single shit about Aiden and his feelings. You dumb. Ugh.
So he says, look, if I'm going to do this, if I'm going to break up my marriage, I need you to be with me. And she's like, well, I need you to be with me. If we're going to be together, then it can't just be like before, even though it's going to just be like before.
Mm-hmm.
So he says, I'm going to give you until Monday, and then I'm telling her.
Yeah. And then he has to go to work or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
He leaves. He basically is just like, let yourself out when you're done.
So she has a shower, and she decides to just linger around the apartment and look at all this stuff. And then Natasha comes home.
Oh, I couldn't have expected this.
Who would have thought? Anyone with more than one brain cell.
Oh, right? I can't believe that she... Oh, I can't believe that she was there. Like, I can't believe she stayed. I can't believe, like, she wasn't out there, like, as fast as she could have. Like, I
don't know. But have you ever been to someone else's place when they're not there? It's just, like, it's very exciting. I love looking at people's stuff. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's true. You're right.
Yeah. So she comes home. She's like, honey. And Carrie decides to be the noisiest person in the fucking world. She's, like, knocking over the bar stools, like, clanging everything. Trying to put her clothes on, leave.
Oh my god. Yeah, because she's not even wearing a shirt at this point. She's like at the fridge with her fucking bra on. And yeah,
wet hair.
Yeah, wet hair. She almost gets out undetected, but like Natasha obviously hears her because she's so loud, and she catches her, or she sees her slipping out the door, and she's just like, Carrie, I see you. And
yeah, because they have like a little... I guess if I want to say, like, is it a fire exit? I think it might be like a back, maybe for like they got like a back door in an apartment. It's a bit weird.
Yeah, it goes right to like the staircase, I guess. So
it reminds me of Mad Men when Don, like his apartment that he had with Megan. And is Megan the Natasha of Sex and the City? She kind of is.
Kinda, yeah.
And they had like a little back passage that like led out to some stairwell. I didn't really understand it, but I think he made out with Linda Cardellini in there or something. Anyway.
Makes sense. I mean, I guess Big probably has like a penthouse apartment, I'm guessing, because he's like Mr. Big and has a fucking everything. So it makes sense, I guess, that they'd have like a fancy exit. It's not a normal apartment, I guess.
No. So Natasha's like, Carrie, I knew he was cheating on me. You get that. She's like chased her down the stairs. And then she falls and smashes her face. And there's blood everywhere. So this is this part where it's like, you can't be doing this. Okay, so Carrie gets a cab for her, gets in the cab and goes to the hospital with her. Which, listen, if I'm Natasha, I'm like, all right, you can fuck off now.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, I guess Natasha's just very like, I mean, she's obviously really upset. And they really like show a close-up of her face after she falls over that really just makes you feel like Carrie is the shittiest person on the entire planet.
Yeah.
And just like, you just feel so bad for Natasha. It's just so, it's uncomfortable, but yeah. And then Carrie just waiting in the waiting room for her, like, what? And I hate it. And
Big shows up and Carrie says, oh, she lost a tooth and she needed a stitch in her lip, but there was a plastic surgery. She's not going to have any scarring, which will explain why she'll be fine next time we see her. And then
true.
Does she say anything to Big, or does she just kind of just leave? She says they're over.
Yeah, she says they're over, and because he's like, I'll call you, and she's like, why? Like, we're over. This is it. Obviously, this is the end. And yep, it's bad. Also, her voiceover before, there is a moment that's just like, I always thought the one who would be hurt in all of this was me, and I smashed my keyboard when she said this. Like, I was pretty much screaming at my TV. Like, I was one of those angry sports fans who was just like, you have the nerve to say that you were the one who is gonna get hurt in this. Like, where the fuck is she coming from?
She's mind-numbing. And she's like, we're so over, they need a new word for over, and leaves. And she goes back to her apartment, and Aiden's there, and he's like, oh, you all right? What did you do today? And she's like, I went to a museum, walked around.
It's like, oh my god, like, that's the worst lie I've ever heard in my life. Can you imagine Carrie going to a museum?
He should automatically be suspicious. She can't read. She wouldn't go to a museum.
No, and she, like, okay, her tone of voice is also very, like, if someone came home and had that tone of voice, I would be like, okay, what's up?
Yeah,
immediately.
Something is wrong here. You're upset, and you look upset. And she's like, oh, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, and she goes in there, and she for some reason runs the tap on the sink and like just looks out the window wistfully, like she looks sad.
Yeah, she's sad, but she's also happy because like now she's out of the mess.
Yeah,
and found her way home. That's the end. Like, the solution to her problem was just, getting caught. I guess everything's fine.
Get caught and have his wife smash her face and be physically and emotionally distressed.
Ruin their marriage, because now Big is basically, he's pretty much on track to get divorced now. So, yeah. Love it. Love that he's now cheated on both of his wives, and it's good, and Carrie doesn't think about it, and
marries him in the movie. Great.
Sometimes things are patterns and sometimes they're not. You never really know.
Yep. First time, shame on you. Second time, shame on me.
Yep. That's...
Yep. Mm-hmm. Also, his other ex-wife looked a lot like Natasha.
It's true. It's very like everyone who Big is with who's not Carrie has to be just like a very distinguished brunette who isn't, that fun girl that Carrie is.
You think he would have gone with Charlotte?
Yeah, interesting. You'd think. They also really make a point to talk about, like, Carrie, like, talking to Big describes Natasha just like she's really scared and swollen. Like, they really make it sound like Natasha's, like, a 10-year-old girl who's not, like, a grown woman. Like, I don't know. They really make Natasha not seem like an actual human woman with feelings, but...
Well, she's 25, so she's baby.
She's basically Natasha's baby. And him Big, so...
yeah. Rankings?
Oof, okay, fuck. Okay, well, Charlotte's my top this week by far.
Yes.
Oh my god, no, but Miranda... I'm having a dilemma. Fuck.
Oh,
okay,
wow.
wait.
You're just like Carrie.
Oh my god. Oh fuck. Okay, well mine's a bit different. You know what? Okay, fuck. I gotta put Miranda on top. I'm sorry, but like,
Wow.
this story was just so good to me. This writing was just, I loved it. You could say I ate it right up. It was good. It was good. Okay, so Miranda, but Charlotte's a very close second because like, I just want to yell at Carrie, and I felt so good watching that. And then Samantha, and then Carrie is at the bottom, obviously. She's the fucking worst.
Yeah. I'm gonna have Charlotte be my top because I live for wedding shows. Then I'm gonna have Miranda, and then Samantha. I mean, she did have some fun sex. I am extremely nervous about how she broke a man's penis off inside of her at the end and how she wasn't really getting herself tested, but she did in the end, and I'm glad about it. And then obviously Carrie, because she eats shit.
She absolutely needs to eat shit.
Eat shit and live.
Just fucking tired of Carrie's horse shit. I'm like hopeful that I forget what happens next. I'm just hopeful that whatever happens next with Carrie, that we don't see Big for like at least a couple episodes, but I just fucking can't remember. So
no, I
need
mean,
a break.
I could look at IMDb, but I do love a surprise.
Yeah, me too. I was kind of pleasantly surprised this week with some of the stuff that happened. So
yeah. Questions?
Questions? Yeah.
So-
we have 4 this week.
Yeah. Or do you want to do Steve voice?
Ooh. Well, we could do Steve voice when we do Patreon, maybe.
That's true. Okay. So questions. If you want to send us questions, then you can send them to Seagulls Make Do everywhere, but we're getting these from Tumblr, and that's usually the place we look. So I don't know. Go to Tumblr, I guess. Anyway. First question is from regular asker and friend of the show, Tumblr user Mike Dawson, who has this to say. If the girls had superpowers, would they be heroes or villains, and what would their powers be?
They're all villains.
What about Miranda?
Oh, okay. I guess. I feel like... Yeah, what would Miranda's power be? Like...
Maybe she'd have like Wonder Woman's like truth lasso. Because she's a lawyer.
She's a lawyer, if you didn't know. Charlotte would be the Wasp, you know, like Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh. And yeah, her power would be like wedding arrangements. She would create a perfect flower arrangement for whatever situation you had. Organization skills. She's a Virgo.
She is. And Anthony would be like her
sidekick?
Her sidekick, yeah.
And then he can be Ant-Man.
Oh my god, oh my god, it works perfectly. Oh, I love the Wasp and Ant-Man of Sex and the City.
Of Sex and the City. Then Samantha would have like sex powers. She would have like Poison Ivy's kiss. Like she would kiss a man, he'd die or be like, you know, hypnotized by her. And she would definitely have like a super sexy costume.
Extremely sexy costume.
Yeah, in my head, I'm picturing like Medusa from Powerpuff Girls.
Oh, that would be really good. Yeah, I can absolutely see that.
And then Carrie would be the worst. I don't know. She
would. I mean, we talked about how Carrie, what if Carrie had the Death Note and like that's her column? I feel like that could be her superpower, and she'd be a villain. Maybe
100%. She's like Yagami.
Yeah,
that's probably not how you say his name. I'm sure we'll get it right in, but
I haven't even seen Death Note. I just know what it does. So yeah.
Okay, I think that's all of them. Thank you. Next one is from Anonymous, who asks, if you had a Carrie-esque column, what would it be? The theme... Let me search one again.
You read it right, but...
I did read it right, but like they didn't type it right, but I didn't blame them.
Sorry, Anonymous.
If you had a Carrie-esque column, what would be the theme and what would be your ending phrase?
I mean, mohe every day would be the phrase.
Of course.
Yeah.
My theme, I don't know. Like, I guess Twitter is my column. Like, Twitter is everyone's column.
Yeah, kind of. Because it's like just us spewing our opinions that like no one actually gives a shit about.
No one
like,
asks. No one cares.
We're not getting paid for it, though, is the only thing. So.
I don't know. I guess, like, generic, I would just have, like, a pop culture one and be like, so today I'm going to talk about whatever, this film I want to talk about, or this event I want to talk about, this song I want to talk about. Like, I just have things I care about and no one else does.
Yeah. I feel like I don't really, like, I feel like I've got a few very specific interests and not a lot of, like, broad interests, so I'd have a hard time, because, like, part of me is like, oh, well, I like video games, but I like 2 video games, so it's not like I could have a column that's like, what did I play this week? Like,
I guess you could have, like, a Pokemon one. You could talk about, like, a Pokemon each week.
Yeah, I could do that for sure, because I have a lot of Pokemon things to say, and, like, I have got a lot of Zelda things to say. I could very easily write things about Zelda every week, and that's about it. I don't know. Kind of like this is our weekly column, to be honest, though. So
Yeah. Yeah, true. Yeah, I think if I had a column, then, yeah, it would just be maybe about, like, movies or something. It would be, like, semi-obscure 70s movies.
I'd love to have like a thing every week where I talk about like one random Tolkien thing, and I'm just like, what's a thing that I like about the Lord of the Rings or Tolkien verse?
I would read that.
It would be fun. But I feel like I just get called out a lot because I feel like a lot of people know way more about Tolkien than I do, so.
Well, then...
That's just being a
I didn't
woman.
ask for their opinion. I asked for yours.
That's true. Oh, thank you.
I suppose I could do a fashion one. But I wouldn't, I would just get mad about, like, trends. I'd be like, neon is ugly, and if you wear neon, you should die.
You could do that.
Stop telling me I should wear neon. I don't want to wear neon. It doesn't go with anything else that's not neon or black.
That's true. That's
It's
a good point.
true. You can't wear neon and then, like, a jewel tone. You look stupid.
That's true. Most people do look stupid.
They look dumb is the thing. You look like fucking Matthew McConaughey in The Beach Bum. You look bad.
Yeah, I mean, you're right.
And then, yeah, I think both of our ending phrase would just be mohe every day.
Yeah, because it's true and we should say it and everyone needs to know.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to know.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Anonymous. Next question is from, I guess, a new frequent question asker, Magnificent Sap Caddy. Yeah. Loving this. New friend of the show. I love new friends.
Me too.
Who asked us, is Infinity War still relevant? I'm going to say no, but I'm going to get to the rest of the question anyway.
The thing is, I haven't seen Infinity War, so to me, it's never been relevant.
But after that, they go on to ask, if so, if one of the girls died trying to kill Thanos, one fought him and survived, one got snapped out of existence, and one actually killed Thanos, who would be who? So I'm going to have to take the reins on this one, because, as you said, you didn't see it. I saw Infinity War. I didn't see Endgame because I didn't care.
I've seen 2 Avengers movies, but I fell asleep during the second one.
The second one was boring.
Yeah.
It wasn't good.
The first one was fine, but that's it.
First one was fine, surprisingly, but second one was just bad. The second one had the good line where Scarlett Johansson was like, "I'm a monster, not because I'm an assassin, but because I'm barren."
Yeah, it's a good writing. That's the Joss Whedon one, right?
Both of them are Joss Whedon.
Okay, I was gonna say it's gotta be. That's gotta be Joss Whedon bullshit.
That's a Joss hot take, if you've ever heard one.
Oh yeah, but I mean, he knows all about women, so.
Yeah, you know how to
Famously.
cheat on them.
Sure does.
Anyway, okay, so I'll get through these. Okay, so one died trying to kill Thanos. I think that would be Samantha, because that would be like the most heartbreaking. Wait,
True.
yeah. No, wait. I think that would be Charlotte, because she feels like she would die. If she was ever in any of these situations, she would die. And then the woman survived would be Carrie, because she's the main character. Then got snapped out of existence would be Samantha, because then she'd be like, when Spider-Man got snapped out of existence, she'd be like, Carrie, I still have so many more dicks to suck.
Does Spider-Man say that? Spider-Man says that, right?
Spider-Man loves cock. What you gotta know about Spider-Man? He loves dick.
I mean, that's valid of him. I respect that. I salute him. Thanks, Spider-Man.
Thank you. And then and then the one who actually killed Thanos would be Miranda, because she's the most capable.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Mm.
Makes sense.
Yeah, she would try him at The Hague for war crimes.
I love it. Woman on top.
All right, thank you for that question. We have one more from friend of the show and frequent question asker, Pierre the Disaster. I don't know why I said that with such a tone and effect in my voice, but I've been called out for that before. Anyway, this is a good question.
This is a good one.
All right. Had Miranda ended it with Steve after the underwear thing, a good breakup song would be Best Thing I Never Had by Beyonce, both for the overall message and for the lines. When I think that there was a time that I almost loved you. You showed your ass, and baby, yes, I saw the real you. Are there other songs you associate with the show?
That's really good, and
really
I love it.
I love Beyonce. I love this question. I'm so excited. I don't know if there's songs I really associate with it.
I don't associate any songs in particular with it. Like, there's definitely songs that I have that, like, when I hear them, I tie them directly to a specific character in a thing, but, like, not for the show. And I kind of, like, looked through some of my music, and I was like, what songs could I really attach to it? And there's not really any, like, specific moments or characters, but I feel like one that would maybe stand out to me would be, like, Boy Problems by Carly Rae Jepsen.
Oh, yeah.
That was my pick.
I was going to say, okay, speaking of Beyonce, remember when Liza Minnelli performed Single Ladies in the second movie? Yes. Yes.
Oh, that's a good choice. Yeah.
That was a moment that we don't talk about enough. That was camp.
Truly. Well, I mean, it's Liza Minnelli, so...
It's Liza Minnelli. It's Single Ladies. Carrie has on this ridiculous crown. It was good. It was good. I definitely feel like one of the movies must have used that Alicia Keys Jay-Z song about New York.
Oh, fully. Like, they had to have used that at some point. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if there's any, because they don't really use music at all.
Yeah, not really. I mean, there's
Like,
lots of songs about New York, but none that I really associate with, like, what the show is about.
No, but I do love this. Oh,
it's a really good question.
Jennifer Hudson was in the first movie. I swear she must have had a song for that.
Yeah, like, you can't really use her and not put a song in. I mean, the writers aren't good, but you never know.
No, but I can maybe name, like, 2 Jennifer Hudson songs. If you asked me to say, like, Alex, what's the movie with Jennifer Hudson in it? I'd be like, Dreamgirls.
Yeah.
Another
Same.
Beyonce reference. So it's all making sense.
It's all coming full circle, baby.
Uh-huh. So I think
yeah,
that's it.
That was our last question.
That was our last question.
Damn,
Patreon.
Now what?
Oh,
Yeah,
Patreon?
we had some good questions. Patreon! We got a Patreon. You probably already know about it because you probably listened to last week's episode, but we got a Patreon now, and it's just, patreon.com/citygirlsmakedo. I think. That's probably what it is. If not, it's just /citygirls. I think it's /citygirlsmakedo.
I think so too.
We got Patreon, so like there's a few different tiers. The $1 tier, then you get a special one on their Discord and any bonus content we release. So our mummy mailbag will be at the end of the month. So send in questions for that, by the way, because we need questions. Maybe just specify that it's for that, and we cannot wait to have Alex's mom on again. So
Yeah, ask us questions. She's excited. We'll be recording later this month, and then it will go up ASAP. So,
It
you
will.
guys...
You gotta get on it. You also at $1 get access to a super secret Discord channel with exclusive Looker pics. Looker's sitting right next to me right now, and he's watching me record, and he loves to hear the recording. At the $5 tier, then you get everything from the $1 tier. You get an even specialer role in the Discord, and you also get a shout out every week. So shout out to Jess Ayalachi, Mogu Summergeist, PR the Disaster, and Siberian Pine Hardwood. For being $5 pledgers. And also, if you're at the $5 level, you can submit stuff for me to read in Steve voice. We got a submission from Summer this week. So maybe this is a good time to put that in. So yeah, if you want to submit a Steve voice, you can just submit it anywhere you could submit a question. Just make sure we know that it's for Steve voice and not just like some weird thing you're submitting. So the thing that Summer has sent us, maybe I gotta get into character first. I gotta, Miranda. I gotta become Steve before I can start reading the questions out. Cause I'm Steve, Miranda. And, so the thing that Summer sent, it takes a pet like no problem, right? Not afraid at all. That's a great cat right there. It's a really good video. Thank you, Summer, for sending in a Steve submission. I hope you liked it.
I love it. I liked it.
It's good. So that's at the $5 level. And at the $10 level, you get all of that, but then you can also listen into our recordings every week, just like Looker's doing right now, even though Looker can only hear my end and not Alex's end. Yeah.
Let him hear me.
Oh, I could, but then I'd have to take my headphones out.
That's true. Listen, I feel like when Looker and I meet, he'll fall in love with me. We'll be best friends.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, you'll love each other. It'll be good. He'll hear your voice because he hears me when I edit. So he hears you when I edit.
Oh, I love it. I'm so glad he can hear me. I hear him, and I try and leave him in the episode when I can because I know you guys love to hear a Looker.
I love to leave a Looker in. It's really good. We're also like over halfway to our stretch goal because at $50 a month, right now we're at 28. If we get to 50, then we get to record a monthly Keanu podcast, which like I'm super excited. I want to do it. Donate more money so we can make it.
Give us money. Money. Yeah, no, I just want to talk about Keanu because I've said this before. I have my theory about how his first movie was River's Edge, and then he was in Siddhartha, which is a theorized possible reason for the reason that River was called River. And I need to talk about River and Keanu because they definitely flirted.
They did.
That's
why we gotta watch My Own Private Idaho. We gotta do it. We're gonna make it happen. John Wick 3 comes out in like a week. So
yeah. Yeah, they both said bisexual rights in that film.
They did.
And during the promotion of it.
They sure did, and I love it. Yeah, so that's all our Patreon information. What else? Plugs?
Where can everyone find us?
Where can you find me? You can find me on Twitter at Age of Oddish. You can find me on I gotta sneeze. You can find me on Tumblr at Windfall Island. I had to sneeze, but then I didn't sneeze. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at DorkPhoenix69 and then on Tumblr at DorkPhoenix. I'm just DorkPhoenix.
You're just Dork Phoenix.
Yeah, that's me.
You gotta follow us. Follow us on Twitter, on Tumblr at City Girls Make Do. Check out Noise Space. All our favorite podcasts are there. It's good. They're our friends.
It's great.
And yeah. And that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, and we have no episode next week, but it will be super special when we come back in 2 weeks with a new episode. So
hopefully this tides you over. If not, sorry.
Sorry, but I'm gonna be in Alabama on the beach, so it's not my fault.
And gonna be in London like usual.
Yeah, it's good.
But it's fun.
Mohe every day.
That's it.
That's
So
it.
you cut out right at the end, so I guess we'll just say that's it. Bye.
I said Mohe every day.
Oh, okay. Mohe every day.